Welcome to Otlichno SMP Season 10. Quick disclaimer before we get into it. This is going to be a post-commentary episode over the footage from the first day at 5 times speed because my audio portion of the recording messed up horrifically. So, we're just going to blitz through this, and then we can get back to normal episodes after we're done here. So let's start. For this season, instead of being underground the entire time, we've got the new big mountains. So we're going to do some stuff with that. But of course, we start immediately by heading into a cave. Get stone, get coal, just get all the general stuff you get at the start of any Minecraft account. Got some communal furnaces, making an axe for chopping down more trees. Going to probably clear out this hill right here since this is the spawn. Probably build something here eventually. We're just dealing with surviving the first few days. For food, we've got apples, which is something. And one interesting thing for this season is we have a voice chat add-on. It has 2 modes. There is proximity, and also you can join groups to just talk everywhere. I'm also having this weird problem with my caps lock, putting up a weird pop-up. And I use caps lock for my sprint key, so that's obviously something I need to fix. And the music was a little loud, so just change in settings. Another very typical thing to do at the beginning of a Minecraft playthrough. Got a little bit of meat cooking, which is always something you need to be aware of what you're doing. Because at the start, you don't want to kill all the animals nearby, since you kind of want those for farms. And since we're in the middle of a whole bunch of mountains, getting more animals into the area is quite the ask. Getting plenty of coal, like plenty of torches. We got some stalagmites and stalactites, big holes to fall down, running into the darkness. Not too much of a cave here right at the start, but there is plenty of massive caves. This is on 1.19, so unlike the previous season, we actually have the official caves instead of just using a data pack or whatever it was. So now I fixed the weird cap lock issue, and I can change everything back to how I like it. We are still running out of food very quickly. Captured a few animals up here, but not enough to get us by quite yet. So I'm going to head out and see what we can find. Just looking for basically anything. Making some stuff along the way, collecting seeds, shearing some sheep, make a travel bed. That's another thing that we have on the server. A majority of people just need to sleep and then it passes the day. Passes the night even. So we don't need everyone to be sleeping or do any weird people having to log off shenanigans. Here's a very big cave right over here. So that's definitely something we can check out later. But I'm not quite at the stage where I can jump down in there. Although, to be fair, last season I literally did just jump down in there. But the whole theme of that was go in the big cave, so we're just getting a little bit of iron here first. Want to get a shield, because that's always good. Get a bucket, so I can move some water around, make a farm later. This is generally good to have. And all these seeds. When traveling, collect seeds. Now we're at the side of a mountain. We're gonna swim up to the top, see if there's anything we can see. We can see further if we change our render distance. There's a big hole over there to the side. Could be something. Just kind of wandering off, seeing what there is to see. More sheep. That's what there is to see. Found some flowers. One piece of free iron. Always fun. And then we head back down here. Getting a little desperate for food, as we only had a handful of apples. Obviously need to grab those pumpkins, though. That's clearly the priority here. And now we are working towards starving to death. But we're far enough away from the spawn area that we're probably good to kill a few of the animals. It's not ideal, but it'll get us a little further, so gotta do what you gotta do. Just collecting seeds while we cook our food and wait till night to sleep again. There's a little message that pops up saying how many people are sleeping, so that's useful in case anyone else can get to a bed. Make our way down here, kill some cows, and then much more of the same. Cook food, collect seeds. We're going to have plenty of seeds for a wheat farm by the end of this. And that'll do very nicely for growing a whole bunch more animals. And now we continue to an interesting little lake area. Got like a river going around this island in the middle. So of course, we make a boat. And then the water stops, so we jump over, and then the water begins again. And we find a sunken ship. It's always a fun time. Got a bunch of loot. Try not to drown. Make some iron, get a chest plate out of it, and a pickaxe. Always good stuff. And then there's also downstairs, which has a treasure map, which we immediately click, and just makes a map, which is not what I wanted. Unfortunate. So it's no longer a treasure map, so we're not going to get any treasure from that. So instead, we set up a little base here, light it up, get the chests to use as chests. Why make a chest when you can just steal the sunken ship's chests? And then I'm still not great on food, so I go fishing with an axe. Find a sunken little area there. Get a little bit of stuff from that. Nothing too crazy. But we can sleep here, so that works. Other people are doing more of exploring underground, getting resources and stuff. I get another treasure map. Mess that one up too. We figure that out. But now, I've got this 2 chests on my boat base. Make that 3. Also try not to drown, as always. So since I'm low on food, I decided the correct choice would be dried kelp. It's not great, but there's a ton of it. We just make tons and tons of furnaces, and then boat around, slowly collecting every piece of kelp that floated to the surface. Not the most elegant thing to do. But it's here. And it's free, so there you go. Also grab some more fish, which are very difficult to fish with an axe. Grab some dried kelp. Another furnace for all the kelp. And the sun sets once again. Getting various achievements. All kinds of start of the game situation. Skeletons seem to be our main threat. Constantly getting people shot. Not ideal. But now that we have a bit of food here, and this upper section of the base, we're going to keep looking around this area. Make some torches, go fishing, find some sand, be annoyed by the whole swimming makes you really slow at mining situation. But we can fix that. We can easily fix that. And we can also fix the ship here. I'm not going to try to perfectly recreate the ship right now. Just seal it up so actual rooms work as rooms again. It's also awkward, the shape of the entrance to the lower area, since it's like 1.5 blocks tall or something. So a door is kind of awkward to put in it, but we manage. We also use a door to stand underwater and collect a bunch of sand, which we'll use to dredge out the rest of the ship here. Although there is one problem. Waterlogged stairs and slabs are a thing now. So we need to get rid of them, place the sand to destroy the water, and then put them back. Well, technically we could not put them back. We could do whatever we want, but I wanted to preserve the nature of the sunken ship here a little bit. So now we got the second room, all nice. Now we move down to the third, where I noticed that the block that I put in front of the door to make that work is completely in the way of the lowest section. So I need to switch that around. And rest. So now the door is 1 block higher at that level, but it works. And this room had even more waterlogged stairs. Just all the sides are waterlogged stairs. So we got rid of them. It's an even smaller room down there, so we might want to rebuild the entire ship if we want to have more downstairs space. But for now we don't have enough things to really worry about that. So we are moving on to making a ladder down into the depths. Trying to find the perfect spot to mine down. Make a bit of a ladder well here. And have it be large enough to jump down quickly in the future. We get more waterlogged things, this time including fences. So we need to bust all those out. And we'll just replace them with full blocks this time. And from up here, I repair the side of the ship a little bit, facing it off the other side Then add some trapdoors to make it so I don't fall down the hole so often. Get a bucket of water that I can put at the bottom. And add a trapdoor to the second room here, since it's kind of going through it. And now, down we go. Find some copper, find some coal, find a flooded cave, which is not what I need. Flooded cave without any respiration or water breathing or anything. Probably not for the best. Another giant stack of coal. Always good when we are going to be heading into caves when we find some. And the ladders are doing a perfect job. And then we hit a mine shaft. Very exciting. All sorts of stuff to mine. Some bits of gold. The large, full plank intersections really do obscure your vision a lot. But it's not a huge deal, because this is the smallest mine shaft you've ever seen. Maybe because it was so close to those flooded caves. Although we did go down a bit more, so I don't think that was really the problem. But either way, we got some iron out of that adventure. So we are stocking back up. Also made a sword to get some string from the cobwebs down here. Never know when you might want some string. It's a good thing to have. Even more coal. Never gonna have too much coal. Then I find there is an upstairs, but not really. There is right there, and that's it. So yeah. Smallest mine shaft you've ever seen. And so we plug that all up, since there's nothing else to be gained from being in there. And continue downwards. We're into the deep slate here, which is not ideal with a unenchanted iron pickaxe. Does make for slow going. Do find some lapis though, so that's nice. And then I hear a spider off to the side. And I use F3 to point towards entities. And we mine through some gravel, and here we are in a cave. Of course, dropping down there would not be very safe. So I make a sand pillar, so I can attack some stuff from safety before heading down. And we were just constantly attacked by zombies down here. With their social aggro and wide open spaces for them to walk to you. Really does make quite a mess of things. Find some stuff. And get our first diamonds. Just 2 though. 3 would obviously be better, because then we could just have a diamond pickaxe right now. But we're not so lucky. And then move the ladder all the way to the bottom, instead of having this weird sand thing in the middle. Fight a bunch of enemies, take a bunch of damage. Because we were still rocking only the chest plate, so that needs to change. We got all these furnaces. We can cook up everything we find down there. Nice and easy. Bit of inventory management, bit of armor management, and we are suited up. Unenchanted iron's not exactly crazy, but it's definitely better than nothing. Finish the water at the bottom, get attacked by a zombie with a shovel. Use that shovel to repair my shovel. And head up the hill to where all the skeletons are. And creepers, and spiders, and zombies. Just everything. Just everything up here. And then we see some falling gravel we can play with, which is always fun. Connecting to a dungeon and a mine shaft. It's always exciting. Spider dungeon. Right here. Very convenient. Fight the spiders. They're trying to stick to the ceiling. A little awkward. So we get some iron. And some regular old dungeon loot. We then play around in the mine shaft before we find a baby spider spawner. Get poisoned, because of course you do. And then we decide to go the other way. More zombies. Enchanted sword zombies. Zombies coming over all the hills. Skeletons, creepers, you name it. We got it. Down in this hole. Take a bunch of damage. And we head back to the surface. Put away all the dungeon loot and various things. Slowly munch on our kelp. And take the nice fast plunge back to the bottom. Where a baby zombie is waiting for us, because of course it is. Then we try looking around the other section of this cave that isn't up in the mine shaft. But it doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Up into various cracks between where caves could be. But never really seems to go anywhere. There could be large sections of cave off to any of the sides here. But not anything we're finding. We're really just looking for one more diamond. Would be fantastic. But that's probably too much to ask, isn't it? Because then we could make a diamond pickaxe. And then we could get some obsidian. Make some nether portals. Get back to the start. Find some seeds in a mine shaft chest. Not a diamond. Keep running around here. Looking everywhere we can. Go into the caves below. Go into the caves below those caves. Into random crevices. Back into the main room here. Head back upstairs. It does take a little bit to climb this ladder. But with how much more vertical space there is in Minecraft now, ladders are going to take a while. But that's okay. Getting back down's fast, at least. So we have that going for us. Wandering into any random crack we can find. You never know if you're going to get lucky and it goes out into another huge cave. Or maybe it's just going to go into a couple blocks of lava. So, you take what you can get. Find a little bit more over here with a water source that goes to 2 dead ends immediately. Because of course it does. Then we find a little bit over here in this gravel, which is actually a dungeon. We got spiders and skeletons bothering us. Then we got a creeper who blows up the chest and the spawner, unfortunately. Would have been nice to have that spawner, since there's another spawner right next to it. We have a double spawner setup. Although I think it was spiders and skeletons, so it'd be a little awkward to deal with that. Doable, though. Well, then, off of that, we find a little bit of cave. Nothing too expansive, though, unfortunately. Goes up, goes down, goes around, but doesn't really go anywhere. Grab a bit more iron, since we're here. But in general, still looking for a diamond. So we start making our way back out of here best we can, which is awkward because of all the various holes we jumped down to get into here. But eventually we find our way out. Once you find the mine shaft, you know you're in the right place. This area is still nowhere near lit up enough to not have any enemies spawning. Well, that's okay. We're managing. We're managing. So I decide maybe I can go head further out. See what else there is to see. Marking the coordinates of the boat base here, so I can make another portal and come back later. And then, with a little more inventory management and preparation, and a sign to mark the ship. It's a ship, very much in quotation marks. It's just kind of sitting there, sunk. And we are off. In a boat, leaving a boat. Going through the ocean, since it's easier to traverse. Find these icebergs here. Walk across just one little bit of ice, and then we're back in the water again. Find another shipwreck here. Grab all the loot. And then look for a second loot chest, since it has the cargo hold doors there. And it did exist. We got another buried treasure map, which I'm trying not to mess up this time. Sleep through the night. And that's all we really needed this ship for. Changing some of the voice activation thresholds here. That seems to have worked better then. And then we find this entire complex of like 4 underwater structures here, and then a 5th one off to the side. So we spend a while killing tons and tons of drowns. Even one with a trident, which unfortunately we did not end up getting as a drop. That would have been pretty cool. Then we try getting any loot out of here, having a hard time. So we move back to using the doors method. So we can just sit at the bottom of the ocean, having an easy time. Dig out the gravel. Then we can find the chest. Getting all sorts of buried treasure maps, which we're trying not to mess up immediately. Losing some of our doors, somehow. They're just floating away to other locations. Plenty of coal here. A bit of wheat. Good stuff in general. Grab the boat to move over to the 5th one here, which we very quickly loot, since we have experience with the previous 4. Now we have 5 buried treasure maps in our inventory, which is a bit much. But we make our way over here to this fancier biome with its mossy cobble rocks. We finally figure out how to use a buried treasure map. I have played a bit since the aquatic update, so not sure what's happening there. Something about you need to be on land for it to work. I'm not sure. But we found it. And then we found where it's pointing to. So we, once again, try to angle our way to be right above it. Head down into the sea. And use a door. We then proceed to mine all sorts of stuff all around. Don't know how deep the treasure is going to be buried. Also making just a giant mess of everything, since our inventory is full. Angle it again, move out a little bit, and there it is, just there. Get a lot of cool stuff here, including more diamonds, Heart of the Sea. Very worthwhile. So then we try more buried treasure maps, and it's to the same treasure. Proximity based to some degree. So we just save those other two for when we're further away. And now we have a diamond pickaxe. So all we need now is another treasure ship full of enchanted leather and poisonous potatoes. So that's something. Sleeping again. Easy enough. Looking for a second chest if it's in here. Not finding too much. Just the one chest of poisonous potatoes. Now we're grabbing some sugarcane, since we didn't have a sugarcane farm set up quite yet. And we had some right nearby. Easy to do. So now all we need is a lava pool. We can make some obsidian, but not too much obsidian, because we find this ruined portal, which has just enough regular obsidian already in it to reconstruct a working portal once we mine out the corners. It's always interesting that you can get away with only 10 obsidian. There's also this ravine right nearby with a super convenient lava pocket. Covered in water so nothing can burn up. Block the water so it can't throw all of our obsidian into the lava. And we can quickly get what we need here. Quickly being relative, especially now we're doing it 5 times speed here. But I want 20 obsidian in order to make a portal back to the ship and a portal to spawn. I've got the coordinates for both of those locations, so the only problem is going to be managing the nether. Last season, the nether was quite a problem at the start because of where it spawned us, just over a massive lava field in one of the worst possible nether biomes. But we get a bit luckier here for this point. Although we are 3,500 blocks from spawn at this point. So even in the nether, that is a distance to travel. But we start with normal nether. Very, very basic. Where I immediately remember, oh yeah, I need a piece of gold gear, or things are going to attack me. But we have gold already, so that's doable. And now we set off. Generally heading back towards 0-0. Or at least trying to. Using this convenient cave here to get over to this side. Doesn't quite get us where we want to be, though. There's also the question of what Y level we want to be in the nether. We find an area up here, which again doesn't go very far. Also, skeletons spawn here, which is problematic. So instead of trying to bridge over anything, or just dig straight through any walls, we head back down. Try to go around through the Crimson Forest over there. But we're still at a really bad Y level to get over there. So we go back even further. And then from this side, we can basically get back over there. Dodge through the fire and the zombie pigman. And we're into the Crimson Forest here. Also, we find another fortress. So that could be useful in the future. We can find some netherwort in there. But we're not really too dealing with Blaze's territory quite yet. So we're going to hold off on that. The main danger here is the hoglins. They are very strong. We've managed to avoid them, at least for now. We get close enough that it's worth digging into the wall to place the portal to the ship, which ended up being roughly halfway between spawn and the ruined portal. But then I realized I did not pick up the flint and steel that I used to light the first portal. Luckily I had some gravel and iron. So here we are. And the portal spawns immediately on the ship, because of course it does. We can move those around later, so I'll be fine. Do some inventory management while we're here. Get resupplied with our nearly broken axe and shield. And it is back into the nether, where we continue to be in the Crimson Forest here, trying to make our way back towards 0-0. And then hoglin attacks. So we jump up into the trees where it's safer. Continue, continue, continue. Get towards another wall that we can't really deal with. Dig through, find another area around the other side. Pretty convenient. Go around this hole. A bit safer. But we're still not getting close enough. So we dig through the wall, make a bridge, head down here a little bit, walk across the lava, make a nice, super safe path there. This gives us a little more room to work. Get attacked by another hoglin, because of course we do. But since 0-0 would have been just in the middle of the forest there, and it's slightly dangerous, we opt for putting it in the ceiling above. And we come out in a valley. So we just need to find where spawn is from here. And it is pretty close by. Climb up the mountains a little bit, you can see various things like the little wheat farm that's been added near spawn. Also, there's pumpkins here. That's fun. So here we are, back in the spawn area. I target where the nether portal is, and make a nice big old beacon of flaming netherrack. Very noticeable. Very cool. And that is where I ended for the first day. We've got nether portals that we can't really access each of. So that's going to be something to work on. Then we finish by making the sugarcane farm here. Right at spawn. All of this is temporary, of course. But that is it. Things continue normally. Next time. Goodbye.